Yeah. There's just this, uh, which is nothing, being everything. It can never be known. This can never be understood. This, just this, can never be described because there's nothing outside of it to really describe it, to really know it. But yet, what seems to be descriptions may seem to appear in it. What seems to be the knower may seem to appear in it. Yet the knower is still the unknown, appearing as a knower. There is already nobody who knows anything here. The knowing itself may be seen as just an imagination. And what seems to be the knower. These are all imagined. This, as it is already nothing. So there's really nothing to find. There's really nothing to know because everything is already nothing. That which seems to be looking for this is already nothing. So this is everything already. This, what is, excludes nothing. And this, what is, can never really be said. It can never really be spoken because it's already nothing. The one looking for this, the one searching for it, is already it. There can never be anything outside of this to know this or search for this. It's already this appearing as something searching, thinking, asking questions, desiring, having expectations, giving up or not giving up. So this is everything already. Nothing is excluded in this. Nothing is separate from this. There is no separation. Separation is imagined. Separation is already what is this, appearing as an imaginary separation. So what seems to be the separate self can only be what is or everything appearing as a separate self. There is no real separate self. So every sensation, every thought, every movement going up and down, every activity is already this nothing appearing as that. There is never really anywhere to go. There is nowhere to get to. There is really nothing to be done because this is already whole and complete as it is. So in this, there is no future, there is no past, there is no present. What seems to be the future, the present, or the past is appearing in this now. There is never really a real future, a real past, or a real present. It's just disappearing as that. So there's no time here. There are no days here. There are no years. There's just this. And this is not moving. This is not going anywhere. It's not trying to be anything. It's not expecting anything. It's not waiting for anything to happen. It's just the way it is. What seems to be anger, frustration, searching may seem to be an appearance in this. Everything appears and disappears. Everything, all appearances come and go, but this never goes away because in the first place, it never came. It can never be lost. There is already nobody to lose it because in the first place, it was never found. It's already here as everything. It's already here as thinking, as sensation, as sitting on the chair, as blinking, as the room. It's already everything. There's no separation. And there's nobody who knows anything here. This doesn't know anything. There is nobody already to know anything. Yeah. There's just this appearing to listen, appearing to talk. It is already wordless. It doesn't require any words to be spoken for it to be what it is. It's not just this because something seems to speak about it. It's already this, even before speaking may happen, may appear. Even before seeking may appear, it's already what it is. And this is not even this. It's wordless. No words here. Yet what seems to be words may seem to appear. Yet they are not separate from this. It's also just this which is wordless appearing as words. So there is already no Nkosi here. There is already no Michael, no Alice. There is nobody here. There's just this. So if there are any questions, or if somebody wants to share something, feel free to do so.
I have suffered from having expectations this week. And, people just don't cooperate with me. And then I read into it and think, well, this must mean that. And it just makes me crazy. So last night I did have a conversation with someone from this group, and it was very helpful. And it was just nice to have somebody rather than somebody validating everything to to be able to say it. And I really appreciated that. But anyway, I'm just kind of looking over about what kind of a story I made out of my expectations.
Yeah, everything is beautiful because everything is already an expression of this. If something seems to be having expectations, that's is already not separate from this. It's just this also expressing as that. You know, the story itself is okay because the story, the whole story, or any story that may appear, is just this appearing as that. And it's not personal. It's not somebody's story. There's nobody here to have any story. And there's nobody here to have any expectation. All these are just appearances in this. They are not personal. That's that's seems to be speaking right now. There is already everything. There is not separate from this. There is no Alice who can have any story, who can have any expectation already. It's just totality appearing as that, expressing as that. So that's why I always say every expression is beautiful. Every expression is accepted as it is. There is no wrong or right here. Every thought, every sensation, every feeling, every movement is already totality, this appearing as that. So, you know, there's really nothing to be done. There's really nobody to help. There's really no sufferer. So it can only be this appearing as somebody who's suffering, somebody who's going through stuff. But there's no real somebody. It's just everything. This appearing as that already. So that the looking itself or the seeing itself is not a man or a woman. The seeing itself is not expecting anything, is not waiting for anything to happen, is not trying to do anything. It's just there. It doesn't belong to anybody. The seeing doesn't belong to any character. It's just seeing. And the seeing is one. There's no my seeing and Michael's seeing, Alice seeing. It's just one seeing. There's no separation. There's no separation. So the seeing as it is already not doing anything. But what seems to be thoughts may seem to appear as a result of the knowledge in the memory. They may seem to appear and express. Yet those thoughts uh, are also appearing in the seeing. They are not coming from anybody. So somebody who's separate or who thinks is separate is already in the past that doesn't even exist. It's never here. That one is never here. It's always in the past that doesn't even exist. So this seeing as it is empty already. It's not going anywhere. Every movement is appearing in this seeing. Every thought is appearing in this seeing. Every sensation is appearing from this seeing. But the seeing itself is just the way it is. It doesn't belong to anybody. It's not expecting anything to happen. It's not trying to do anything. It's not moving. Thoughts may seem to say, oh, now I'm moving. Now I'm moving. Those are just thoughts. Me, as this body is moving, those are just thoughts. There's nobody who's moving. So nobody came here. And nobody's going anywhere. It's just this. Those are just a stream of thoughts. Oh, I'm moving. Now I'm going to the Zoom meeting. Now I'm going to the loo. Now I'm going to work. Now there's really no movement, real movement. So nobody exists. This isn't talking to anybody. This is just, it's just this as it is. No movement, nothing, nothing happening. Yeah. And there is already no seer. There is already no seeker. There is already no doer. It's just this appearing as that. So anything may happen, may seem to happen. It doesn't really matter. A question may arise, an answer might be given, a sharing may happen, may seem to happen. Any direction may seem to be taken. It doesn't really matter. It's already what is, just this, expressing as that. So it's not personal already. So this is unconditional love because every expression or everything is allowed to be as it is without judgment. There's no judgment because there's no separation. Everything is this, no matter what shape or form it may appear to be. This can never really be found because there's already no finder. That which is trying to find is already this. So there is already no separate finder who can find this and claim to have found it. And this isn't an imagination. This can never really be imagined. It's beyond any imagination. Or what seems to be an imagination may seem to appear in it. It is so simple, even beyond the word simple, effortless, and obvious to itself. Can't be imagined. It's already here. It doesn't require any efforts. It doesn't require any critical thinking. It doesn't require, there's really no work to be done here. There are no steps. It is already that which doesn't make any effort to be anything. No words, just this.
There was always an assumption that thoughts were supposed to like completely dissolve or disappear. And just from continuing to notice that thoughts just keep rising and falling, and there's kind of no getting rid of them. What was noticed is that there was always someone trying to get rid of thoughts, I guess. Like there was always like the assumption that there was something wrong with thinking. But the thoughts themselves aren't me. It's just the rising and falling of thoughts. So there's really no problem with them. Which is kind of a relief, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, thoughts themselves don't belong to anybody. There's no possessor of thoughts. There's no thinker of thoughts. It's also just totality, this appearing as thoughts. even the one who's trying to get rid of thoughts.
I think it's because of this like built idea of what something of like what was imagined something was supposed to look like that this was beyond thoughts and that thoughts would just dissolve, but they're just as much a part of it as anything else, it seems.
Yeah, they are just appearances in this.
Yeah.
They appear and disappear, just like clouds in the sky. Clouds appear and disappear. They come and go. Black clouds, white clouds. You know, doesn't matter. You know, they don't belong to anybody. And there's no thinker of thoughts. The thinker of thoughts is just another thought appearing in this. They come and go.
So then there's
And
also
thoughts when they are
sorry.
okay, right.
Go ahead, I'm
And
sorry.
thoughts when they are looked for, all right. Thoughts when they are looked for, they can never really be found. Even that which seems to be looking for thoughts is already not there. So there's really nothing to find and nobody to find anything. There's just this.
So there's actually no one that's attached to thoughts. There's just the rising and falling happening.
Exactly.
And there's no one that's detached from thoughts either, I guess, right?
Exactly.
Man, the mind is so slippery like a little snake. So beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And there's already nobody to fall away or to disappear, because nobody appeared in the first place. So there's nobody to disappear. There's just this. This as it is has nobody. This is everything. There's nobody outside of this.
So everything is just happening. And even the I that thinks it's aware of what's happening is also just what's happening.
Yeah, there's no real separate I. It's just everything this appearing as that. If it seems as if there's a separate I who's trying to be one with this, that's an imagination. Also appearing in this as this. Yeah. And there's no I of Michael, I of Alice, I of Don. It's just one I. It's just one. It may seem to say, I think, I walk, I sing, I laugh. It's the same one. There are no different eyes. May say, I hate you. I love you.
Yeah, it seems the I is the thinker of thoughts. It seemed to be an Alice who had a problem today. It seemed to be a Landon who was looking at these problems. But really, it was just the thinker of thoughts that was appearing as that way. And there is no thinker of thoughts. The thinker of thoughts has never been here. That thinker. And the thinker's the one with all the problems and all the stories and all the questions. Appearing as an Alice, as a Landon, as a everything, but never really being here, except in a story.
I'd say if the I cannot find a problem, it will create one so it can solve it.
Right. Well, the thinker, the I, is already a problem and already
Right,
trying,
right. It's all a
already
problem.
solving it.
That's right.
But we're pulling the curtain and saying and showing there's no I there. There's no thinker. All these problems are for the thinker. And they won't ever be solved. The thinker's problems are never solved, but they're just already not happening.
Yeah, it seems like it's never ending. Like there's one problem, and then that problem goes away, and then another problem just takes its place. And you're just going like round and round on this loop of apparent problems, which aren't even real. They're just, it's just like you said, the thinker.
The thinker is the problem.
Yeah.
There is no problem and there is no thinker.
Mhm.
It's just not funny if you're not into comedy, you know? Pretty funny though.
Is it valid to say I am not the thinker?
Is it valid? Valid for who?
I was sort of saying, okay, I guess, yeah, I was sort of saying valid for what's being pointed to, but
Well, Don is the thinker, but are you Don? That's the question.
so is it valid to say I am not Don? I am not the thinker. I am not Don. I am not the body.
Yeah. You're this. What else? Everything is this. There isn't any separate one.
So there is no I. When I say I am not the thinker, then but there is no I. So that statement, it doesn't seem to work.
Right.
There is no separate I. There is no real separate I.
This appearing as I.
This is every sound, every sensation, every thinking, every movement, every seeking. This is everything. There's no separation here. There's no separation. That which seems to be asking a question is already that which seems to be giving an answer.
Yeah, it's the me is always picking sides, trying to get, the good side. And all sides are imaginary because there's no separation. So all sides are imaginary.
I think for a while there was the assumption that the story wasn't a part of this, but it's been more clear that the story is a part of this. Even though it's an illusion, it's still valid, like Nkosi says, right? Like it's all still
Yeah.
just this.
Yeah.
I like what you said about unconditional love too, because it's like the heart space. If we look at that, there's no thinking there. It's just completely non-judgmental, beautiful.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not for anybody though, like you would say.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for everybody here. Thank you guys so much for just this. This is amazing.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. There's no there's no wrong or right here. You know, every expression is beautiful because every expression is already this, is already everything expressing as that. To look for, there's really nothing to find because this is whole and complete. This is everything already. There's already nobody outside of everything to find everything. It's just everything, or nothing being everything. So it doesn't really matter. Anything may happen here. There's really, you know, this doesn't mind. This doesn't see separation.
Without the thought of separation, can you find any separation? So all separation is imagined.
Or not even imagined, but imagination as an appearance of an imagination called separation. Same thing, just different words.
I was reflecting on what stories are, and stories are the me's attempt to explain this. Those are stories. And the me lives through the story. Without the story, the me can't survive.
Yes, me is the story.
And it's not even alive either, or dead, it seems.
Alive and dead is the story.
Yep,
Part of the
exactly.
story.
This just sounds like such crazy talk. I love it.
It's totally insane. Here we go. This is either total clarity or total insanity. It's or both. But at least it's for nobodies.
I just got to say, I love being out of my mind. But there's no me.
You could never be in your mind.
Mm-mm.
Is there any last comment or question?
I'm glad you're having Sunday too, Nkosi.
Yeah, just thank you to everyone for
Mhm.
showing up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
everybody.
Bye,
Thank you, everyone, so much. No words.
Bye.
Bye.